Alright, welcome everyone to, this is week 5 recap of my trades here, and we have 4 trades this week. I just want to start by saying, not as good as last week. Last week was just great all around due to my sticking to my thesis and just a good overall trade idea and execution. This week we have a couple of good ones and a couple of bad ones. We're going to start with EKSO on the Monday of 11 to 13. So this day was this big up candle, or the second big up candle here. The 13th, if we go there now. Yeah, so it's this day here. And this was a chase, to be honest, and it wasn't a very good one at all. So it was gapping, it was uptrending after hours, and today it put in a spike, came down, and here, when it's testing a breakout, it got me interested, and came up, came back down with this red candle, and it actually bounced perfectly off of this pre-market top of 223 right here. Then it bounces up, and that was a confirmation breakout that told me that I really want to get in, but I just don't have confidence in getting in when I have a feeling that it's right. Obviously 2020 is perfect, but this is perfect right here. It's bouncing off of its now support, but I wanted it to be more defined. So then I waited for this breakout here at 240-ish. I actually got in around 237. Held it throughout this top, coming back down. My risk was... Where's my risk? I guess my risk was kind of just this, my entry price, because I didn't really want to risk down here at 225. Saw it come down here. I got out. I was out in like 5-6 minutes. As a chase, that's what it was. If anything, I should be getting in on this breakout over here, across here, or even this 212, the morning high. All in all, fear of missing out, FOMO was going on, and not a good plan or execution by any means. Next, we got CREG. This was on the 15th. This was actually a good play for me. This was a short. So it's following this long, or this big downtrend the whole day. And if we see a multi-day chart, I was trading it this day. Obviously, I didn't know it was going to go green, but it was following 2 red days, okay, coming down off of a big spike up to the 9s. So I was definitely short biased, but I wanted to get in on a good price. So even just like looking at this last day, yes, it could tank down more, and in a couple of weeks it would probably be a lot lower than this, but there's just not a lot of downside. So what I was looking for was a spike, and that's exactly what we got here. We had a spike up, and it was hanging around this 475 range, which was resistance from yesterday. And that's what I like to see right there. And if we can zoom in a little bit more, so we know the resistance at 475. I was trying to get short on this red candle right here. But again, just like the last trade, even though I have a gut feeling that I know what it's going to do, in this case tank, that's what I was thinking it's going to do, I'm still scared to get in, a fear of a quick spike up that'll squeeze me out. And I put my order in at 459, didn't get executed, it came down, and after that I knew I was on the right track for sure. So this little bounce up, I think it was this red candle right here. Yeah, it must have been this red candle, and I wasn't getting executed again, so I'm like, screw this, and I just hit the bid at 445. So I was in at 445, withstood this. Here's where it got interesting. So the open was about 410, and I was looking at that closely. It broke it down here, so now we're red on the day, but it's hanging right around there. It's not cracking lower, which would be more of a bearish sign. And in retrospect, yes, this would have been the best place to exit. But again, with it being red on the day, I just figured that there'd be more downside. So I held through this whole thing. This green candle is pretty scary. A Marabuzu candle. I'm surprised it didn't actually go higher up here, but it pulled back down. And right around here is where I got out, because this is a higher high. Sorry, this is a higher low. And, I mean, in from the 45s, I mean, I have a 5% profit. I took it because I was scared of this higher low. Looking back at this area, obviously I should have sold, and here's why. I have 10% gain. That's good for me. But the main reason, it's right on the day, and it can't go lower. It's actually holding right around here. Especially on this green candle, I should have just been out here. It can't crack any lower. It should be cracking lower. It should be easy to go farther down, but it's not. I'm up 10%. I should have taken it all. Again, I'm really not mad at this. This is a good thought out trade. If I had more money or if I was trading for money profits, and not just such a small position, I would have sold half here and then sold the other half here. But I mean, that $10, $15 commission fee would have knocked me pretty hard getting out twice. So that was a great trade for me. The best one of the week. Going into MOSY here on the 16th, so the next day, which is here. This was actually my worst trade. Planning and everything. So I was short at the worst possible moment right here at 112. And what happened here was I felt the need to trade today. Everything was moving and I wasn't in anything. And I think I called a play before. I was trying to get in and I just didn't get in, but my thesis was correct. And I mean, and it made me feel bad because I was on the right track, but I couldn't get in a trade. So looking at this, I saw it tanking here. Actually, I was like finding it around this area. So it's down on the day. Before it was down here. So if I'm trading on the 16th and we want to look at a multi-day, so that's, I mean, it's kind of the same pattern as CREG the day before, how I'm trading it on the backside of the move. But the difference is, and it had the same downtrend, the difference is I'm not getting in on a spike, I'm getting in on a panic. So it's already down from yesterday, and this morning it's already down again. And there's this little bounce, and I'm shorting it at the lows. It hasn't even cracked down yet. And like, where's this going to go? Yes, it should go lower, but it's already down so much. I just really wasn't thinking clearly on this, and just way too many emotions were in play when there shouldn't be really any at all. I mean, if I just want to list them all, I chased it because I was bored. I chased it because I saw other plays running, so fear of missing out and greed in that, and just regret that I missed some other plays and I'm going to miss this one again. So not good trading, not good thesis. I really just need to look at the price action better and acknowledge that it's down so much. Worst trade right here. Moving on to TOPS. I'm glad I finished the week. This was a Friday. I'm glad I finished the week not on a money gain or percent gain even, but on following my rules to a T. That really made me feel good. So this was the day I was trading it, and so it's spiking huge pre-market, 54, 55 up to 80, let's say. And so if you remember last week or a week before, this thing 2 Fridays ago here, it spiked big in sympathy to DCIX, the shippers were moving, and that following Monday, it was big move and followed by another big move. So we know this thing can run, and the reason I was playing it 2 weeks ago, I did a trade recap then too, was because it was following DCIX so closely, and they were both up, and they were moving off each other. So coming to this morning, I was thinking the same thing, and DCIX was moving the same way, pre-market up big, and I took the same approach that I did last time that made me some profits. So I just want to put in DCIX here because I want to compare the price action pre-market. It's so similar. We have this bounce here, come down. We have a new high, and then a retrace. We got a new high again, and a retrace, and we got this somewhat double top here, both times. It's so perfect. And look at this. It's insane. So what I'm thinking after this double top, I'm thinking either breakout or dip buy here, because there's some strong support. Right? Or I mean, there's no values here, just percent, but it's about, I think it's about 71%. But the reason I pulled the trigger last time on tops was because I saw DCX percent gain on my watch list was up crazy at the open. And that happened again on this Friday. So I got in, it was down here at 71 cents, and on the dip, it was perfect. And I saw that DCIX at the time was up 120% at the open, and then actually when I bought this, it was up 140%, so I knew it was spiking at the open, and that was perfect. I was buying this on a dip, it's sympathy play, and it couldn't even test this pre-market double top. And at that moment, and when it cracked my risk of, I was risking off of, okay, so let me get rid of this. So I was in on this red candle at 71 cents right here, and I was risking off of this one, or the 68 from pre-market, and it cracked it, and I was out. I was out in like 3-4 minutes, but it was a solid setup. I was just super surprised it couldn't crack. It couldn't even get up to the highs, yet alone break out when DCIX was up so much and spiking. But I mean, price action took over, and I abided by the rules, got out. All in all, great trade. Super happy with it. Everything was working there, and I mean, I would take this trade 9 times out of 10, or 10 times out of 10. And even in these market conditions, it should have spiked. The odds were in my favor, and if I lose on couple percent odds, I mean, I don't mind that at all. All in all, great. Not a great week, but I just want to stick to my rules better. I can obviously improve a lot more and get some good percent gains, and hopefully week 6 can be just as good as last week. So thanks, and good luck to everyone in the markets this week.